Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 21. It's gonna be a spicy one.
It's gonna be a long one, you guys. We have a guest. God. It's our first guest episode. Okay. We're so excited.
It is. We are having a guest. You just said it was our first time, and I was going to say that again. Nick DiRamio is joining us, guys. We are so excited. If you guys don't know, Nick DiRamio is a fellow YouTuber. He is a really amazing guy, and he agreed to be our first guest, and therefore I love him.
And we already filmed that part, so that's why we're really excited, because we had such a fun time. I want him to come back again for the next one.
We really did. I didn't know what to expect, and as we're going to talk about in a second, trying new things is scary. You know, when you're you have a platform, people expect a certain thing from that platform or from your content, and then you change it up. It's a little scary. So having a first guest was a little nerve-wracking. We didn't know what to expect, but he is so awesome, so sweet. The vibe was amazing. I felt like I was sitting with friends just talking.
I know, it was absolutely delightful. I forgot we were filming.
I know, but to your delight or not delight, we're talking about Def Noodles.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nothing really too specific, more just generally kind of gathering all of our thoughts on the whole situation. And actually the reason we even really got connected with Nick is us being roasted in Def Noodles roast. It was a weird time.
Yeah, we all got roasted together by Dennis and his pals back in the day when his roasts were, I guess, relevant, whatever you want to call it.
It was roast number 3, so it was the third one. And I do feel like it was, because we were live streaming during that one, and apparently we're getting 9 times at one point as many viewers as he was. Nick also was just in the chat, so a lot of his followers were also in there. So basically we kind of took over that roast.
Yeah, that's the main thing that brought us together. So we all followed each other on Twitter after that. And then I think the other day Nick tweeted something about wanting to just talk a lot of shit on a podcast. And I was like, okay, come on over.
That's what we do.
So literally, but he fit right on in. We want to do something else. I think he's just amazing.
The saddest part was at the end, we were like, oh, why are we in 3 different states? It would be nice to actually be able to hang out in
Palm
person.
Springs a different state?
3 different cities.
Okay, at least you're closer to him. I'm fucking in Georgia. Nobody's in Georgia.
Yeah, no, he's just driving distance from me. I feel like I'm never going to see you again.
Literally nobody lives where I live. But anyway, that is coming up and you guys are going to love it. ?
Well, I think we maybe have a couple other things to talk about, but let's just save those to the end and get into having Nick on soon. But before we do, we do want to have a quick little moment of reflection on the live stream that was our 20th episode, which we were really excited about, you guys.
We were.
We worked so hard all week. We got all of our tech in place. It was a fucking nightmare, but we thought we were like, oh my God, we finally got it done. The only thing that we felt like we really could have improved upon somehow, we don't even really know how still, was Jessi's audio quality. But other than that,
for some reason, it just kept sounding like I was in a shoebox. Nothing made sense that was the case. It just was the case. Everything is the same right now as it was for the live stream. I just sounded like shit. Whatever. The point is, it was our 20th episode.
We're still a work in progress there. But otherwise, we were so proud of ours. We're in no world thought we were going to be able to make it look like we were remotely in the same room live. I didn't think that was going to be a possibility. And then it was, and I felt like it looked just as good, if not better, than some of the actual episodes. But then,
kind of leading up to it, to understand our emotional state, okay, now that you guys are playing our therapist, the Halloween episode almost made me and Lily quit this channel. Or me, specifically. I was losing my fucking marbles. Then when I passed on the rest of the editing to Lily, she wanted to die. The episode was, so many things went wrong. My audio, her eyes were glowing pink because of the green screen.
There was just a lot that went into it.
It was a lot, but it was all I knew for sure was that I did not want to film an episode because we put it up on a Monday. I did not want to film on Tuesday for Sunday. I was like, I can't, Lily, I need a break. I can't, I'm freaking out.
Well, and then the biggest problem is not only that we didn't want to film within the next 2 days, but then the longer we won't film for, then that means the less time we're going to have to edit it once we do film. So our whole philosophy behind this live was this would be perfect because we wouldn't have to edit it and it would be a nice replacement. People have been asking us to go live again and we thought that would be fun, and we knew that we had already bought some of the stuff we needed to make the stream better. So we were like, oh my God, a couple hours we'll dedicate to like learning the program. It wasn't just like learning the program. It was troubleshooting every connection to every port on every electronic that is involved in this situation because nothing was working.
And it wasn't our fault. It's just like things were just not working for me, for instance, and I was doing the same thing on my computer, but it would work for Lily and then vice versa. It's just, it was a fucking bitch, but we were determined to go live because people, I have taken down the last 2 lives very infamously, if I may say so myself. People get pissed at me because I do that.
Because I saw someone on Twitter saying that they thought that the reason we had privated the lives, they thought the reason you had privated the lives had something to do with Def Noodles using his
absolutely not.
content.
No.
That had zero to do with it.
It has everything to do with
the
this
Zoom logo. And also then Jessi and I have this whole side conversation going about this, but I have yet to watch the last live stream, like before our episode 20, the one that I was not present for. I have not watched it because it gives me anxiety to think about because I have not heard great things.
Well, the thing is too is that the second I finish a live stream on any platform, it doesn't even have to be this channel, I just have like complete anxiety about it. I ramble a lot when I'm live, but this time I said, no, this is going to be our episode 20, which if you guys, that's a big deal. Episode 20, we were supposed to get cakes, but
then also to point out that was another reason, like leading up to this, there was a lot of pressure on this live, not only because the last ones looked bad, but like the last one just didn't go well as a whole. And Jessi had deleted there was a lot going into it that we wanted it to be perfect. And then the fact that I think we did end up making it as perfect as we possibly could have, given the circumstances we were dealt. Literally, I don't understand because the only thing I thought was wrong was your audio. And that honestly wasn't even that noticeable. But then we get this fucking comment.
Well, no, not this comment. Like, guys, we get it. You didn't like it. Okay. Like, it was like,
okay, yeah, I guess we got more than one comment.
50% of people did not like it and 50% did.
I think you're being a little dramatic there.
I think that's accurate.
No, Jessi definitely, we're both very sensitive, but I think she definitely veers a little more sensitive. And she texted me the morning after and she was like, everyone hates it. We're never doing it again.
So many people were like in the chat when we were about to go live saying like, please, Jessi, don't take this one down. Like before we had even started, they're like, please, I live in Europe. I want to see the live stream. So you guys had been wanting me to leave it up. And I said, you know what? This is going to be our episode. And I left it up. And a lot of people hated it. Like a lot of people were just like, yeah,
I wouldn't even use the term a lot.
One person literally just commented, boring. That was it. I was like, you bitch.
Okay, well, I will say, in the defense of people saying they maybe thought it was boring, we didn't have like super developed, like there wasn't anything going on that was a pressing matter that we were trying to discuss. And I think also we had gone through so much just to get the live stream up and looking what I thought was good. But apparently not everyone agreed.
Guys, you have it's fine. If you don't like something, it's fine. We're testing things out and we are open to feedback, and just know like we're gonna try different things. Like this isn't gonna be one thing or the other. We want this to be the show, but we are gonna like eventually try different things. I think that's fun, and just bear with us. If you don't like it, just catch the next episode and that's it. But I think that our show being, I was telling you this earlier, our show being so heavily edited and like produced, I guess you can say, has people expecting one thing and it's not a live stream dynamic. Yeah. It's like us going boom, 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 and then next topic, boom, boom, boom.
Well, and it's like if you think about how much we ramble and go on tangents in the edited versions, I'm like, do you think we keep all the tangents and rambling in? Because we don't.
No. We really do not. But this is not, I hate when we like talk about hate comments and people feel like they need to like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like people get like extra nice whenever we talk about hate comments.
And we're not like seeking extra, or we're not seeking like sympathy or extra validation to be like, no, you were great. Because honestly, the reason I was so annoyed by that one comment that we got is that I'm like, that doesn't even make sense because it looked good.
Well, we read it again with Nick later to share it with him because it's that important to us. You know, people are like, I don't care about hate comments. We do. This person said, okay, you guys can't rip on Mr. Noodle's production quality anymore with this online. Appreciate the effort. But my God, this shit sent us spiraling. We were shitting, throwing up, sliding down the wall.
There's layers to this of why it upsets me. The comments I make about Def Noodles production and have made in the past are based in that I would never like strive to put on something if I knew that I didn't know how to do it. So even like with the live stream, I would never be like, hello, I'm a live streaming genius. Come look at my perfect, like, no, absolutely not. Even still, we tried to make it look as good as we possibly can and like spent all this time learning everything. Def Noodles, my problem was that he doesn't spend the time, like he doesn't do any prep, and it just felt so thrown together last minute and just like careless. And that annoyed me as someone that has worked also in production, like on sets with other people. I don't even have to explain this because it's just like he couldn't even turn the projector off during his fucking comedy show. Shall we bring in our Def Noodles correspondent, and he can weigh in and tell us whether our production was as bad as Mr. Noodles?
Absolutely. Nick DiRamio, welcome to Do We Know Them? Oh my God. Did I say your name right? Did I fuck it up?
Yes, actually you said it amazingly. Unlike Dennis, who called me Rick in that stream.
Yep, that actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect people to pronounce my name the right way. I'm not sure. I always do. But N and R look very different to me, so.
Has anybody ever, not to go off topic right away, because we are going to try to stay on the saddle here.
That is the nature of our show, though.
But does anybody ever tell, like, I used to get you confused with Nicholas DiRamio. Do you get that a lot?
Not by person.
Not by personality or any beliefs or anything, just by name.
I have heard it once or, look at me with my cords. This is your field consultant and your first guest on the show, Mr. Wires. Nick DiRamio, I've heard the name before. And so like I was aware that there was someone with a very similar name, and people had confused me before seeing like my image on screen because we don't look, I think, the same.
No.
But I was like, it was one of those things where I was like, well, what do I do? Like, this is my name.
You
like,
have to change it.
I mean, because I went through the whole process at starting my channel. I was like, do I go anonymous and do an internet name like Def Noodles?
Nicholas DiRamio, and I don't want to, say his name too many times. It makes him pop up and be mean to you. But he has not been the nicest person to be on the internet. And so if I'm being honest, I actively avoided you for a long time because of your name. It was a trigger for me. And I wish that was like some sort of ha joke, and it's not. Do you think he's hurting your brand?
Oh, I hope not. I've only heard that name mentioned like a few times when I started blowing up with the Shane Dawson stuff. And that's when people tweeted, or I read on Reddit, that they were confusing me. But since then, I haven't heard his name mentioned except for just now that he's been mean to you, which is, I cancel him. I already don't like that you're so close to my name that it's creating this ill will. That's bad branding.
I think we should look into this legally. If you're interested, we can start a GoFundMe for you.
Yeah,
we force him to change his name.
Exactly. That's the solution.
Or start being nice to people so that if they do correlate you, it's like not bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm not always nice to the content that people make. And certainly sometimes I can get a little personal, but I mean, I like to think that it's not bullying and traumatizing to these creators.
Well, you're trying to be like funny, like you're trying to make it lighthearted, and
I think I'm trying to do a roast. I'm trying to do a Def Noodles roast battle, just half as good as he. But a successful one. Yeah, right. I'm just trying my best to make them laugh with. Well, roast and insult humor, I think, is when it's like well done. It's not like someone might take the root of the joke personally, where they're like, oh, they made a joke about an insecurity of mine. But at the same time, it's like if everyone can laugh at it, if you can kind of see where the humor part of it is, or at least it's said in an unexpected way that makes someone laugh, then And as I've said in like the Def Noodles live stream chat, like I want to be someone who can dish it out as well as take it. So
Yeah. Well, so we haven't spoken about Def Noodles on this channel for a hot minute. I wouldn't even say we've avoided the topic of Def Noodles on this show. We just haven't spoken about him in so long. And I feel like you haven't either, right? Like you were in on it, like around the initial roast part, the same level as we were, I feel like. But now everybody's just like, oh, fuck it. Who cares anymore?
Yeah, I've tried to go back and watch Def Noodles content since then. But try is the operative word. It's hard to sit through.
Yeah, you have to talk yourself through it. You got to be like, just keep going because it's so painful to watch.
There are always little gems of like, what did he just say? But it's like in a sea of who is that? What are they doing?
Most of it is me watching it just like dumbfounded that it exists. That I'm like,
oh yeah.
Is this is the content that he wants to be making? Like,
right. This was his big, like, breaking
What
moment.
direction are we going in? And a big question for me is, where did the weird dick humor come from?
You just told me about that last night. Nick, are you aware of this?
Dick humor? Like penis?
Right?
Yeah.
That's actual
like weird, like
penises.
I wouldn't say like gay baiting, but like weird kind of joking that it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I did see an episode where he had ordered like a sex toy on Amazon and they were talking about sexual experiences and I think Dennis was trying to make himself seem like that guy who like has like an adventurous sex life, but I was like, from where I'm sitting in Palm Springs, I'm like, that's Christmas morning, what you just described. And it's like the idea of him talking about feet. I think it was like will he lick someone's foot while he's making love to them? I mean, like feet. Who cares if you lick someone's feet? Like that's the least you should. That's not exciting to me. So I think I have heard that he's trying to go into this like X-rated adult conversation.
Well, so if you guys remember, he also at that one point got banned, I think on Twitch, maybe on YouTube too, because he had like a porn star on and she would like took her top off. But he's also in his like new format that's trying to be like reality show scripted, almost kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm-esque. He's had like a lot of random porn stars come.
Right.
It feels kind of just like out of place. And then there was even like this was when I was still watching it. I feel like for the last like 2 weeks, I haven't tuned in because I'm like, I don't care what's going on anymore. It's so weird.
Yeah, same.
But when I was still kind of trying to understand it, they like got a dunk tank and filled it with dildos.
Okay, what is that? Like, I saw the dunk tank thing, and he was like, oh, I'm getting in trouble for the dunk tank on having it out on the street of LA. It's like, yeah, you would. I didn't know that he filled it with dildos. Like, what? Save your money.
And I'm pretty sure then you threw like he had people throwing dildos at it too, like instead of a baseball.
What are those, $15 a pop at least?
And it gotta be, even if you buy them in bulk. And I feel like it's like, what is this, like, okay, I get like body humor can be funny at any age, but not just like to that high school level. Like it feels underdeveloped, the comedy. But I love that you point out that
that's a very nice way to put it. Underdeveloped.
As we could say for a lot of, I think, well, I love the reference you made that he probably is using also for Curb Your Enthusiasm. It does have that feel, but I mean, again, like a novice version, and I'm just like, create a format that actually lends itself to your comedy, whatever that might be.
I described it to Jessi, how it feels to me is like high school project filled with inside jokes that all the like friends in your class, they're all dying laughing. They think it's hilarious.
But they're also like 15.
One, that. Two, no one else understands. Like, no one else gets it. Like,
no one outside of your social studies class even cares.
And it's almost like they don't even think it's funny because of an inside joke. They just think it's funny because they literally, like, they made it and they have some kind of stake in it.
And it's like, by the time you put on the Borat costume, you have to sort of think it's funny. You've already committed. But that was what it felt like. It's like, it's the school projects, which remind me of Shane Dawson in a lot of ways, because that's where he started uploading like his funny school project, and we all did those videos, I think, in high school.
I was gonna say mine are private.
100%. Yeah, same.
So they're fun to look back on, but they're also not as funny when you look back on them, and you're like, okay, I think we just were like proud of ourselves for making something.
That's the thing. It's like just being able, like now it's anyone can make a video on their phone and it could look pretty professional even if you were a complete novice. But back when I was in high school, making a video was like, not everyone can do it. So
right. You had to find the kid with an iMac.
It felt like something to be proud of.
What was with like, he also went through like, I guess I could call it like the dungeon phase when he started putting those like LED lights in his podcast room, and he would just film in like, it looked like an exit sign was lighting him, and he would just talk about something for like 2 minutes and then end it. Like, and that was the show for like 2 weeks.
You would think almost like he didn't notice, but he was like boasting about it. He'd be like, oh, do you see the new lights? And I'm like,
oh no.
Yes, sir. Have you ever seen people use lights like that? Because that's not how it's supposed to be in the background, and you're supposed to light yourself normally.
And I want to say, I know it may sound mean. Okay, because there's some people who comment on his thing like, just do you, like, do whatever you want. But it is worth noting, this is all of that like mess that we were all talking about a month or two ago, whatever it is now. This is what it was for. Like, this was the big pivot he made a big fucking stink about. This is it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we're not just like trying to shoot him down.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was relieved when the public opinion started to sway against Dennis Noodles, as I like to call him. Because I had been watching since like a few months before I had any chance on YouTube, like I was just posting for no one, but like I would watch him as he was coming up over quarantine and get mad at the low quality writing and just like saying things with the cadence of a joke that I thought maybe large amounts of people would be satisfied watching because it's confident enough that you can watch it every morning and get the news, which I think is what his brand was. But I didn't think he thought that was comedy until I saw his I canceled video where he was like, he showed us a clip of his stand-up.
Lizzo lyrics.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
traumatizing.
Not this. So you really don't have any taste.
Well,
okay. I just thought
funny.
the name.
Were you ever, so you did actually consume him kind of like we did every day just to kind of like know what's going on really quick and then get it over with?
Yeah, 5-minute videos.
But the way you're describing it is that you noticed early on that his humor was like off. We were like consuming it kind of passively and we weren't really noticing what we didn't really care what he was saying. We were watching it for the clips. We came to realize. Yeah. And it sounds like you were watching for the clips, but then noticed that his commentary was off.
Yeah, like I wanted the quick summarized news, but then it would be like, that's more funny and less disgusting than a bag of pickled potato chips. And it's like, what is the joke there? There is.
Yeah, you had to kind of filter that out in your brain to enjoy it.
Yeah,
you just had to like move on.
Once I started hearing it, I could not stop. And then the Shane stuff blew up and I was like, but I can't just go it. I wanted to just make a video being like, I'm sorry to Def Noodles, but this is bad comedy writing.
You couldn't do that early on.
Exactly. It would have
gotten reamed.
That's exactly why we were cutting my insults out.
Right. I mean, I don't blame you because I called Dixie D'Amelio's vlogs boring and people were like, wow, punching down. I was like, I mean, she's a 19-year-old woman making millions from these vlogs. I think it's fair to say that she should at least act like she put effort into it on camera. Then with Dennis, it was like, he wanted to make this pivot and started calling himself a comedian and trying to really prove it. And it's like, okay, but I know I'm funnier. I know you're both funnier than him without even trying. So it just, to me, looked like it was low effort writing before, because it's very formulaic. And then the comedy as a comedian was also low effort. And this whole pivot to a non-cat ear type of brand that he maybe started to feel was like a little cringy. I was like, well, you're also just trying to find really low effort replacements that get views, like this, the lighting with the fucking sinking submarine feel. Like, you wanted to sit and talk for 2 minutes on camera. I get it. It's like other YouTubers who start an ASMR channel.
Wouldn't you say too that like his his videos in general in the beginning, that was low effort. You're talking minimal, just give us the news, throw it in, and that's it. Don't even tell us what you think about it. Just let us know what's happening and then end the video. He had it like made for him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was so consistent, and we all agree that it's like everyone followed him because he was like the first person to post stuff. And I always appreciate, I'm like, oh my God, hats off to Def Noodles. He works really hard. So even if it was easy, like it is a lot of work still. And I really commended him for that effort that he put in. Then
I feel like he didn't need to do that. Like, I'm just collect your paycheck. I mean, you have the easiest job in the world. Just tell us the news for 2 seconds and then go home. Why did you have to do the pivot?
He did finally on the podcast at one point admit that he like kind of woke up one day and realized that he just like hated what he was doing.
Right, I guess.
And that's when he like, I think decided he's like, I'm a comedian. But I'm like, okay, but you can't just like Mandela affect all of us into like, oh, right. I was a comedian this whole time. And we're like, no, we only even found you because you were reporting on Jessi and She Who Must Not Be Named and your essay. Like you were doing serious stuff. Like he's not CNN, but
you're right though. It was very consistent, and I think I also watched. I thought he was worth the views because every morning it was like new content, and I like when somebody can format whatever content they're creating to get it out consistently but still be effective. So like I liked that he was sitting in front of a green screen and doing it really short.
When he lost the green screen, that's when things went downhill.
Yeah, don't let us see how you really live.
We don't need to see how the sausage is made.
Not if the sausage is made in some Hollywood Boulevard warehouse. Yeah, but yeah, so like I felt the same way. I was like, I get it. I get why he's getting all these views. Because the jokes, it's not about it being necessarily the funniest jokes on earth, but it is following the same cadence, the same format, and he's doing it in a way that apparently allows him to finish one a day, which I was like, great. But yeah, to try to legitimize that comedy more would have probably been my direction if I was unhappy with the Def Noodles show. To try to be like, okay, well, let me work on same format, 5-minute videos. How do I feel like I'm infusing it with the type of comedian that Dennis fancied himself to be?
It was too stark. The change was one day to the next, and I don't know his Social Blade stats, but I know he's in the red right now. Like I have never seen such a plummet so fast because he didn't transition. You're like 100% right. If he would have just done just tiny changes over time. For instance, we already spoke about it by the time you're watching this, but our live stream was not received super well. I don't want to say it a million times, but that's the truth. And it's like, okay, try new things, see how your audience responds, and then move around and do things accordingly. You don't have to be like, guys, we're only doing live streams now. Everyone's gonna unsubscribe. Like it's just like nobody's gonna like that. And then you have
though Def Noodles, who's like saying all of that, but he's like, I was just trying new things. It's like, you didn't just like try. He didn't just like dip his toe in. He like literally dove in, started drowning.
Like, anybody who doesn't like this, fuck you. Like that's literally what he did.
And alienated all of us who were like liking the content for what it is by being like, this was actually a parody of a news show. It's like, I don't buy that, first of all, because like, as you said, Lily, that he like woke up and was like, I don't like this show format anymore. But what I don't think is smart is it doesn't show to me that he's like somebody who fully understands the platform. If you think you can just pivot and talk trash about not only the content you're creating, but basically invalidate anyone who enjoyed it. Because like, yeah, like it was tacky and cheesy, but it got the job done. But if you want to improve upon it, here's different, add a new video, add a live stream, change the comedy to be funny. Like saying like, oh,
change the comedy to be funny.
So tacky that I was talking about other people. It's like, it's not, that's commentary. What else are you going to talk about?
How ironic that both during the podcast and during his few roasts, that the other comedians are so quick to be like, oh my God, this person's only talking about other people. And it's like, excuse me. Do you know anything about
Do
Dennis?
You know your friend?
Yeah, I got that when they pulled up our names on that live stream where they were like, oh, Nick's made 9 videos about us. It's like, 2, I think, at that point.
How many has Dennis made about Tana Mojo?
How many has he made about you? Literally.
Exactly. Yes, Jessi.
Yeah.
It's so
probably
true.
Made more about
so
me.
It's like, at least I made 2 videos that are funny and worth watching where, you've made videos about people who it's just because I didn't want to go and read Reddit myself, So it's like, let's not get too high and mighty about it, especially for the friends to be like, you can't think of his own content, he just has to talk about us. It's like, I'm thinking hard about my own content. Are you?
Well, I want to do a little reaction together. We can have a little powwow and go back on, in memory lane and look at the roast. But I do just want to ask, is he still doing roast? I actually don't know the answer to that.
Stopped.
Okay, this is what I read.
Actually...
Go. No, sorry.
You go first. No, you go first.
I saw him mention, I joined one of the podcasts when he was streaming live, but like, I try not to because I don't want him to notice and be like, oh, let's talk about Nick now. It's like, I get it. I'm more interesting than whatever you had planned. But he said that they were still doing the live streams and all of these shows at the club, but they were not focusing on streaming them. They wanted to make it a purely in-person event, which also does away with his entire point of difference that he was selling for the club, where it's like combining street humor with internet comedy. It's like, what are you talking about?
How many other comedy clubs have you seen with the chat on the wall? And I'm like, in the font that is so small that no one can see? Yeah. I don't really understand the point.
And also, like, I know that Wild 'N Out has done that. I know that we've seen it on, we've seen it on Dick Clark's New Year's special. Like, they put the chat on the screen. It's not that new.
No, not like that,
like a news anchor being like, write us in with the hashtag.
Not like that. He does it like nobody else.
That's true, yeah. By putting the chat on the screen and then getting obsessed over reading it.
My favorite is when he's like, it's moving too fast and it's going so slow.
And when it does move fast, it's people just putting the emoji.
Tomatoes in the chat, L's, just fucking spamming him.
Yeah, you lost control of the chat. You should have had someone moderating the chat so that you're only reading the positive stuff, because who wants to read negative stuff live on stage?
Him.
Apparently.
Because that's his whole thing. Is like that he wanted it there so like people on the internet could heckle. And it's like,
okay.
What? But I thought that's what you don't
Well, that actually gets into, we're going to watch it, I swear. When he gets into the roast we're about to watch, it is actually unfathomable the way in which he chooses to do it. So, first of all, completely unplanned, obviously, no preparation. He just goes off the cuff as he does. But like literally cannot believe he thought that this would be a good idea, not once, not twice, but 3 times in one roast to roast us via his phone pressed up to a microphone. Lily, do you have it pulled up? We should just pull it up.
Yeah, he actually he roasts Nick twice.
Oh,
he wants to after a little bit. He goes, I want to go back to Nick.
That went so well. Really? We should do it again.
It didn't go well the first time.
And I was over here. I was watching live just by chance. It was the first Def Noodles roast battle that I'd caught live after covering the first 2. And then as soon as I started talking in the chat and he brought me up and then he said, oh, let's go back to Nick, I was like, am I the prom queen of the world? Like, I felt so special.
You are. Wait, so did he bring you the legendary super chat that you sent? Was that that was after the roast, right?
That was during the first roast. Like, he said, oh, everybody get Nick, we're gonna roast this guy, and they showed he showed them my profile picture and they were like, he looks like, I forget, they just made, half-assed jokes about my appearance, which I'm fine with because, like, I'm okay with that picture, like that picture.
No, they chose the hottest picture of me too. I was like, thank you. I facetuned the fuck out of that one.
Seriously, it's like, wouldn't, as a comedian, like to give a few facts, or I would, if I were me on stage, I'd be like, oh, how about we roast Dennis Noodles, makes videos with these cat ears in a Minecraft house. That gives a comedian like 5 funny things to say. I would be like, how do you burn down a house in Minecraft? Ways you can be funny as soon as you hear info, but seeing a profile picture that I obviously approved of, it's like, good luck.
Let's watch the legendary roast. I have to clench my ass cheeks for this because every time I see him, it's just like a visceral reaction. I don't know what it is about old Dennis.
And I never know what to expect in terms of hair or beard or shirtless status. That's
right,
scary.
Right. Because remember when he said he was just growing it out for a film?
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see the film.
No, missed that.
You don't remember that? He was saying he was growing, like the reason he looked like so dirty all the time was because he was going to do a film and then he finally was able to like shave it.
No.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. It was, no, he would like say it every week.
Wait till that film premieres.
Right. Always
don't hold your breath.
Films and getting ready for a show and going to auditions. I'm like, for what? For what?
And then I'm like, okay, grow your hair out and like your beard, but like, shower.
Yeah.
Did you guys, I know I sent them to Jessi, so I know she saw it, but when he posted, he had said that he was going to be doing some interviews with some like big outlets in the industry. And then he posted, I think 2 links to interviews, quote unquote, that were actually more reminiscent of like a knockoff Famous Birthdays, like almost like AI written description.
Does Famous Birthdays
Dennis
hit you
is.
up like every 2 seconds to do a Q&A?
Oh, a couple years ago, yes.
What? Did that happen to you? Both
No.
of you?
Back
Sorry,
when I
I guess we're just
semi-relevant.
I guess we're just famous. No, they literally
Now they're like,
Yeah, I
who
didn't know
cares?
you were A-list. That's so cool. I got a Famous Birthdays page once, and I literally like was like, and
no, they want to
tweeted
do
me
some
on
sort
my
of
birthday.
Q&A. I'm like, Q&A? I will
Yeah, 'cause
not.
They do like video content too.
Oh, I thought it was just like they do that to everyone. Sorry, guys, I didn't know.
No, but like, you know, like if,
No,
like,
you're
for example,
lucky.
like if I Google my name, there's a website that comes up that's like something like celebrity scoop or something really generic. And if you read the bio, it's just like, what is this? Like,
Wait,
who
so-
wrote that? It feels like kind of like not.
Wait, do you
it's
have
just so
the
strange.
outlet like stuff? What was the actual
For Def
name of
Noodles?
the? Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. It's like it has like celeb buzz in it or something, and then you'll be like,
Oh, I would
but
no.
it's like-
I was even just making one up, but like, because I've had one where it says like my salary, that my net worth is like $11 million or something, and I'm like,
You're like, since where?
is it?
Yeah, my
I've
net
seen
worth
those.
is
Bank
like
accounts.
next paycheck.
$11.
There's like celebs.film feed. They're like these wiki sites. And I've had certain emails that'll be like a list of questions. I'll be like, will you do this interview? I'm like, most interviews, I don't have to write everything myself, but sure, because like you're just like answering long form questions via email,
Yeah.
and I want to sound well spoken, so I'm like, oh, I have to put effort into writing this. But I think with some of what Def Noodles shared, it's like I can tell from the writing quality this was maybe just a filled out survey.
It doesn't even come up in the first 2
Are you serious?
pages of Google if I search Def Noodles. But regardless, it was very much like a press release that some publicist has sent out to these, like, I want to say it was like it said like Fame magazine.
Yeah, they're like these articles. I used to work.
I got it. Oh my God.
You found it?
You found it?
Yeah. I'm sharing my screen.
Oh,
What is that?
oh my God! I'm
Who
sorry.
is
I was
that?
shook. I was shook by the brows. I was shook by the brows.
Look
I'm
at
sorry.
this. Look at this header. Official Fame magazine. Celebrity and entertainment news you have to see today.
That is. I
They-
don't want to say any thoughts about this headshot, and I would like to move on.
It's an interesting choice.
I would very much
Okay.
like to be excluded from this narrative of Def Noodles headshot.
You mean Def Noodles,
No.
America's bad boy comedian?
No,
Is that why he was
stop.
calling himself that in his Twitter
I
bio?
don't know, but is bad boy something that has come back into
Lily, I think when you sent this
relevancy?
to me,
Because-
I was so focused on the photos, I didn't read a word.
Oh, do you want to cold read it for us?
A minute.
You have to.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. An actor, comedian, and writer, America's bad boy Dennis Feitosa, aka Def Noodles, is one of the funniest comedians on planet Earth. Oh no, you gotta be
That
fucking
is a
shitting
real
me.
sentence.
No, you're shitting
Oh
me.
my God, I'm gonna explode.
Def
On planet
Noodles
Earth?
was born in Morristown, New Jersey to Brazilian parents. Dennis was raised in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where he became fascinated with movies at a young age due to his father's prominent role as a Warner Brothers executive. I thought
Nepotism.
that was a rumor. So he is a nepotism baby?
Apparently.
It's not working.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it served him too
Yeah,
well.
he
but-
needs
Nepotism
more.
sucks.
He is of Italian Portuguese descent. He attended graded school, the American School of Sao Paulo, and later the Boles boarding school in Jacksonville, Florida. At age 7, Dennis created his first video for a book report.
That one. Are you fucking kidding?
Wait, why
What
do
is-
book
what
reports
is
need
that?
videos? I thought it was just text.
And also, he's 37. So, like, when he was set 30 years ago, he made a video in his elementary school class for a book report. I don't buy that.
At age 7, I didn't even have book reports. That's like insane.
It makes no sense. Like, who wrote this?
These
I mean, it
pictures,
feels
he
very
needs to press
self-written.
charges.
Like they took his bio off of IMDb or something and like
Oh, 100%.
copy and pasted it.
Look at
And then
this.
used
Wait,
AI
wait.
to elaborate. Continue.
Hold on. My eyes just jumped to this where it says Dennis recently executive produced his first feature film, Eddie. Anybody? Have you guys seen it? It's starring Eric Roberts. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, Eric Roberts.
Distant fourth cousin to Julia.
Yeah, and
I don't know if you've heard of her.
was that the father of Emma Roberts, I believe?
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, that is true.
Wait,
Eddie,
did. Someone
2020.
sent me a link to this. It's like a
Look at that
political
poster.
comedy. Yeah, this is okay. All you need is talent.
Okay,
and a friend who's
IMDb
trying-
rating 5.7 out of 10. Not bad. It's only one review, so to be fair.
That's pretty bad then. I mean, that's a failing grade.
A lot of big people in it. You could see.
Wait. Bill Clinton is starring in it as himself?
Oh, I think it's like a part documentary. And someone said like,
Oh, so there's like clips. Oh, and this is his ex-wife.
Oh, wait, yeah, Lauren Francesca, his ex-girlfriend. I actually know her from Vine. Very interesting. I have a
okay.
YouTube video up with her. Yeah.
she's pretty. She reminds me of Sarah Bareilles.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. I see that. Yeah, I'm going to have to catch this. Where can we watch it? On Prime Video. How much is it?
Worth every
I'm
penny,
in the market.
whatever.
I'm in
Yeah.
the market for it. It's $9.99.
Wait,
Yeah.
can we do? I'm gonna do a clip breakdown on this. Will you guys cameo on it?
Oh my God.
yes.
I would love to.
That would
Absolutely.
be iconic.
But only if we, like, one person has to purchase it and we could, like, split it. Like, I'll Venmo you.
Yeah,
Because it's,
yeah.
come
We're
on.
not giving them $30.
No.
Oh
we're
yeah,
not.
we could do a watch party on my Patreon. People would.
That's
love
what, oh my
it.
God. That's what we need to do. I love that.
Look at us
Eddie.
planning for the
Oh my God.
future, the collaboration.
Content.
I mean, my main criticism of Dennis's content was that it was unplanned, and then he went and did an unplanned roast of all of us. And I was like, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
should we?
thank
should
you.
we
Thank
watch
you
that
for reminding
back
us.
to that?
Okay, so
Yeah.
the first link
So-
Lily has here is called Nick DiRamio. Love
That's
this.
me.
This was so epic.
I want to do a round where they roast somebody. There's a creator in the chat. I want them to roast this guy. Hold up. I want you to roast this guy. His name's Rick DiRamio.
Rick DiRamio.
Talking shit about. So yeah, roast this guy.
Fuck this guy. Fuck, he's stupid.
Roast.
Off to a great start.
Dude, he's uneducated.
Here, hold up. Here's a picture of
He's made an
him.
entirely
Here's a
awful
picture of
impression
him.
on me.
Just grab the phone. Grab the phone.
Yeah, grab the
Here you go.
phone. The audience can't see. Grab it.
Yeah.
He's got one of those inbred noses. Actually, your hair.
Let's show the audience right here for everybody here. This is Nick.
Yeah,
Let's show the audience on this.
I hope you guys all brought your prescription glasses or contacts because what the fuck?
And none of that would be funny even if the picture were on the screen. Maybe the inbred nose thing. That's
I
kinda
can
funny.
go full screen and we still can barely.
Oh my God,
see
I'm
you.
just realizing they could have projected you.
Oh no, they don't know how to work the projector.
The first thing people always try to say is that I have a big nose, and I'm like, I like my nose, and
That's literally. I was confused where inbred nose even came from. I was like, what does that mean and what?
My favorite thing is the huddle, like the awkward huddle. They're all like awkwardly turned. Nobody's quite facing the right way. It's just my favorite.
They all put their arms around each other and being like, we can think of at least one funny thing.
and they can't.
The fact that there's this many people on that little ass stage, maybe we keep it to like a 3-person limit.
Right. And I mean, like, write a little list of what the show order is so that people aren't on stage being like, what's next? What's next?
Oh, well,
Like,
I mean,
So
you
what were you-
clearly
what were you
really
s-
triggered him. Yeah, what were you
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
in
what
the
were you
chat?
saying in this moment?
oh, when he was, like, when they
Like when
play
you
the
first
video?
entered the chat, what
Oh.
made you known in there? Like,
Oh, it started really benign. Like, I was not trying to roast him. I was just like, this is gonna be good. I was like, can't wait to see it. And then other people were like tagging me or adding me in the chat, being like, oh, Nick's here. This video is gonna be so good later. So I think he saw like people adding me a lot, and then he started talking about me. So of course I'm gonna respond to the roasts that these people are trying to do. Which, like, I mean, I sent the super chat after this just being like, good try, everybody.
that was my favorite. Good try, everyone.
Well, the whole thing is just like so odd that because you must have said something, or I guess just the attention alone that you were getting really set him off, because this clearly was not that anything was planned, but this clearly wasn't part of the show. Everyone else seems to kind of think it's odd too. Like the other
Yeah.
comedians are like, okay, why are like
They
seem
were like,
a little
oh, we're
annoyed.
roasting him. And then when he's like, we're going back to them, they're like, okay.
Like again, like and I think they even ask for like more material because they're like, why are we just looking at his picture? But
yeah, who is this guy? What? And then they show the video. Yeah.
Nick. He's currently in the chat. He's made some of his
I love their boos. They give me energy.
Jesus.
He looks like he had an adult sit next to him in class. Yeah, he looks like his only thing growing up was being a hall monitor. He looks like his face didn't stop growing.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Why would it
Can't see
have?
anything above his chest, but I know he's 5'2". Like, go conquer half of Europe, Napoleon. No one fucking likes you. He looks like he can't buy clothes for himself.
So Nick just said, "Hi, love all the holes in your clothes." I don't know who he's talking about. Who has holes in their clothes?
Just looks down at all the holes.
Wait, but I watched your video and you were like, I didn't want to publicly call him out for being an outfit repeater, but I wanted him to know that I knew.
I mean, we've seen these distressed jeans several times. And then I would think I wanted to talk more about Dennis and his holy shirt that he had on his vlog recently, but I did note that we had a lot more distressed clothes than I remember seeing when I lived in LA.
Listen, I am no fashionista, never claimed to be, but distressed jeans, not like some people still wear them, but definitely not twice in a row, right? Like, or am I missing
on
something?
camera?
That's
No,
not your
yeah.
everyday pair.
You know you're being, on camera. Like, and they're severely distressed.
It's too distinct. Yeah. I think, like, if they were just, like, plain blue jeans, you
couple
could wear
rips.
those twice in a row and no one's going to notice.
Jeans are something you do repeat, and that's normal. But you make sure they're, like, the neutral jean that goes with everything.
Right. Yep. Not the ones from American Eagle that was, like, a sewn panel and then, like, perfect lines of thread strung across it. That to me is like, wear them once.
I mean, at least they have shirts on.
Oh, when they started taking their clothes off, I was like, now I'm really confused. Now
oh my God.
Just jarring.
What does this guy make videos about?
Oh, what does this guy make videos about? About us.
6 videos about us.
You're doing great, guy.
This is
Thanks. We're famous. You think one day he'll have his own thought?
One day
He
he'll
can
have his
only
own
do your
life.
own
The
content.
silence.
He can't do his own shit.
I don't know. Ask him, Nick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Nick. Fuck the battle. It's this now.
This is a Nick intervention. All right.
Nick, get up here. Where are you? You're online. Okay.
oh my God. Oh.
It's so uncomfortable.
Come over. What are you doing? You could be here. Also,
And then Def Noodles says that you live in
Wow, that was
Los
painful.
Angeles.
Right.
Which you don't.
Yeah,
But
I'm like
also,
2 hours out.
Even if you did, no.
Why would I want to be there? Exactly. Like,
In that not air-conditioned room that definitely smells.
so musty and dusty and crusty. And also they said, like, you could be here having a bad time with us. It's like, I'm glad you at least realize why I would not come there in person, because even if I'm the funniest person in the room, which I might have been if I had shown up, it's still not going to look good because this production is not going to behoove anybody's comedy. It's like bad audio, bad camera work. You're not giving anyone a good shot to be received well. You would have to be able to go out there and do like a 5-minute set to win an audience over.
Honestly, looking back now, it's been a while since I've revisited this cringe. It's what a moment in time, because even like first, second, and third roast, epic. Like those were like, you had to be there. But like everything after that just got sad and it wasn't fun anymore. It was just sad.
Right.
And now,
Even
like
this
looking
one
back,
was hard. Like
this
one
was
was
hard,
like,
but it was still,
at least we were mentioned. I
It-
think
it had
that's what
its-
kept our interest.
maybe.
Yeah, it made it relevant to me and you both, at least, more so than the first two, which I was like, this is just bad comedy. The second one, I'm like, it's bad comedy about me. Now we're cooking. Now we can have a conversation, Dennis.
What's your zodiac sign, Nick?
Taurus?
Oh my God, my husband's a Taurus. Okay.
Oh, no.
Because I also felt the same way, but I'm a Leo and I think that about everything. I was like, I'm included? Oh, love that.
No, yeah. I love when the spotlight's on me in general. So
I'm not going to lie. I hate confrontation so bad.
That's the thing is like you and me are the worst possible people to be dishing out any kind of thing.
was your heart racing when they started talking about
Okay,
you?
yes.
You have no idea. Sweating, dying, shitting my pants.
Yeah, when you like literally just freeze up and like your heart just drops and you're just like, it's happening. And you just start like, it just starts going.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
I felt.
It's like, have you ever texted something to someone thinking it was going to
I
one
have.
person, but it was about the
Like
person you
talking-
sent it to? That feeling is how I felt during the roast. It's like, oh my God, he saw what we, what
that's
am
how
I
I
going to do?
felt.
Oh, yeah. That's how I feel whenever I make a video and then someone from the video sees it. I'm like, I forgot that you could see it too. And like, you might
why
have
are you a
Google
real
alert for
person?
your name. I know. Yeah. Why do you care?
And you also go back because you're like, I feel like I only gave like valid criticism, but then you go back, you're like, but did I do, what else did I say?
I'm the
Right.
And then you
worst
panic.
fucking person to have this job ever. I mean, Lily knows, like, I can't even read comments. She's the one who has to send me comments because, and Lily sent me the comment that we like reacted to before, right before I was about to take a shower. And I just was like in the shower like this, like just like thinking about it, like, oh no. it just bothered me so much. I can't help it.
Nick, our segue into this whole segment was
gonna make me mad all over again.
This comment that we got on our live stream, because we already had done the live streams for the roast, but they didn't live past a day because Jessi was like,
because they were awful and I would private them.
So stupid and these are horrible, and she privates them immediately.
Oh, they're not up anymore.
Like,
I didn't realize.
The first one had like the Zoom watermark was like giant.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't very high quality.
Sure. You don't want to open yourself up to watermark complaints.
I mean, I judged us for the watermark. We're like, Jessi pays for the elevated version. Why is that there?
No such
But
luck.
For this live stream, we were like, well, we're not going to do it again until we're like experts and we can do it actually right. So we're happy with it. So we spent hours preparing for it. Literally multiple days, 5 hours a day on FaceTime, going back and forth, trying to connect all this stuff, and ended up everything worked, I think, pretty much perfectly, aside from like a couple glitches
My
here and
audio.
there. And overall, just Jessi's audio wasn't the best quality, but it sounded fine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything was great. And I even figured out how to make it so we were like still in the same room and stuff, which like you're watching and you don't know. We live across the country.
Yeah. We don't live in the same place, guys. And it's like,
I had no idea. I really thought
until I do this,
sitting
and then I'm
across
like
the table.
into Lily's
just
world.
disappears.
Like the thing is, whatever. Read the comment, Lily. We've already gone on this tangent.
Yeah, like,
by the time people are watching this.
All of that being said, I read this comment and it's, okay, you guys can't rip on Mr. Noodles' production quality anymore with this online. Appreciate the effort, but my God.
Full spiral before my shower.
God.
Full
That
spiral.
hurts.
No, right? That like, guys,
What?
you just don't say things like that. It's just so painful.
But I genuinely just don't understand. I'm like, but it looked great.
Oh, Lily.
That's what's the worst. You're like, when am I gonna look back at this and see what they're seeing? If
Oh
ever.
my God,
Like,
literally.
I'm
No,
like, it doesn't make sense.
immediately I saw it. Like immediately I'm like, okay, I get it. Take it down. Like I wanted to take it down so bad. Ugh, I hate this job.
I mean, well, that's when it hurts. When the comments hurt the worst, when someone's being like earnest and helpful in the way that like a disappointed manager or boss would, where they're like, appreciate the effort, but we need to realign. And it's like, okay, network exec. Like,
But also,
damn.
it's like, realign on what? What was wrong with it?
Right.
My God. They are acting like we had a Zoom watermark on there again.
And it just hurt a lot. But we're not gonna hash this out again, Lily. The point.
No, we already talked about it. I'm sorry.
But that's what the segue was into this Def Noodles thing. That's why you said it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nick, you're saying you don't actually remember the Dry for Def saga, do you?
Did it get invented in that chat? Because what I thought people were saying was that he made them the opposite of wet.
Yeah, correct.
No, that is a correct assumption.
Yeah, so that you broke that down accurately. But I don't know, because thinking back, I thought it was from one of the roasts he did, but our roast, I don't think it had happened yet when he said it.
No, it definitely was from.
It
was from one of the roasts.
During your roast, is your roast later? Then maybe I did them out of order, because they definitely acknowledge the moisture.
It was one of the people. Yeah, that's what it was. It was one of the people that were roasting me were saying that I looked like I had a dry pussy.
Yeah, which I'm unsure how that's even like what.
I'm like, you actually can't tell. Like it's
You
just
don't
like
know,
that's
first
not
of
how
all.
it worked. And then I was like in the stream saying like, yeah, dry for you or like whatever. And then everyone was like hashtag dry for death.
Yeah. So maybe I put them out of order timestamp wise. But
So this was them realizing, and Dennis just like, he really has that confidence. He just grabs that mic and he just starts talking.
it kind of maybe seems like not necessarily like an abundance of confidence, but more so a lack of filter. It's like his brain doesn't tell him to stop until after he can't not respond.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is. Okay, well, this was Dry for Death. Enjoy it.
Battle going.
Hey, I just want to shout out to the chat. They're all doing hashtag Dry for Death. Shout out to you.
Oh, perfect. We should make T-shirts.
Yeah.
I survived this super roast battle.
No, yeah, by the way, he
should
just
make
stepped
those
out.
t-shirts, by the
YOLO Swag Studio, shout out to him. He made a
He'd
shirt.
sue us.
He just stepped out. Yeah, he was right here. I survived the Def Noodles roast battle, so get him. They're popping.
Sure,
Yeah.
that really made them
By the
sell
way,
like hotcakes.
Yeah, perfect timing, yeah. Well, tell them that we told them. Yeah, we plugged this shirt.
All right,
Everybody get dry for death right now.
Dry for death. Hashtag dry for death.
I,
All right, let's bring up the next battle. You guys ready? Give a round of applause for yourself and everybody you
We
see
were
tonight.
losing our shit when this was happening. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, for them to make such a stupid joke about
Yeah.
you, and then for it to just get like turn around like, yeah, and because this is the least attractive thing group of people I've ever seen on a shoebox.
my biggest issue with their roast of you, Jessi, is that someone mentioned, and like it could be a coincidence, but someone says like, oh, she looks like she would.
Oh my God, press charges against me.
Yeah. That was
It was an unfortunate coincidence, and I know that, but it was like, dude, you could not have picked a worse choice.
Well, no, and like I thought it was, but then when I was rewatching it, when I pulled this link, it doesn't feel like it feels
Really?
very intentional.
Okay, let me see. Hold
I
on.
could- and I could
because
be
I think he
wrong,
was.
but-
I think he was making like a black joke instead of
Uh-huh.
a me essay joke.
Oh, like maybe like calling you a Karen of some sort.
I was
I
gonna say,
think
which
exactly
then
that.
apology for my white privilege and not even realizing that was the joke
But I
he was
think that's what
making,
he was
but-
doing. But when I hear like press, it's just like it was like an instinctual like, and I like folded in on myself on stream. That was awful. I
I
did
feel
not
like
like
it's
that.
because it comes really quick after they talk about your name, so
It
it's like
was-
it.
Ooh.
I don't know. Play it. And you guys tell me.
Jessi smiles. Fuck, dude, you stepped on my first pin, man. Like, how'd you know? How did that guy know? Dude, Twitch, you know what I mean?
Twitch, man. It's the future.
It is the future. They're in our heads, you know what I mean? Fuck Elon Musk, you know? Fuck that dude. You guys love him, I know it. Yeah, it's fuck.
They're musketeers.
That's how you know you're rich when you know they're rich when they remove their clothing. You know what I mean? I need less clothing. You know what I mean? I need to be more.
What are you talking about? Jesus.
Points for that. Yeah, fuck the chat. Yeah.
All right. Fuck. God damn it.
I put another.
Roast battle.
I can't even deal with
I
this.
put another link to your roast part.
Oh my God, Jesus.
That's the super roast battle. Give it up for you.
All right, real quick, before we go to voting, you guys gonna roast Jessi for a second, and then you're gonna roast Lily afterwards. Meanwhile, no, grab my phone real quick. I have to turn down this mic because there's getting echo on the stream.
Wow, production king.
Why do I see your kids for, dude? Is this Google? How's she on Google? Jessi Smiles? First off, get a real name. I don't know. If you see her, she has total horse girl energy. No offense. You know what
First
I
of
mean?
all, you're a Def Noodles roast. I just literally fucking can't. I mean, my name is dumb as fuck, but what the fuck?
I want to roast Jessi Smiles, but I'm 90% sure she'll already press charges.
Yeah, hey.
The fact that he used your name in it felt
I know, but
kinda weird.
he doesn't know who the fuck I am. But no, I totally had that like initial reaction, and then
like
after
the coincidence is like fuck.
It's quite unfortunate.
And you
will
can
say
hear
that.
the audience groan like.
Yeah, they do.
And also because someone said Google Jessi Smiles, so if someone did, I imagine that's one of the.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I was like, we're on dangerous ground here. None of these comedians are proven to be tasteful in any way, and
Their go-tos are digs at like being sexist and being.
I think
like,
that's why I was
appearance.
even more, I was so nervous. Like, honestly, when they were doing this, I was so nervous because I didn't know if they had known who I was or like my back, because they would easily go for that. Like, I don't know. I felt like.
I'm still not convinced that they didn't.
it could be. I'm sure that there are people on that stage who were aware of you, but sometimes I was so shocked that none of them seemed to know anything about YouTube or what Dennis
The
does.
internet in general.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're really just out there putting on live shows that no one wants to see. Like they're making fun of us for doing commentary when it's like, do you know that that's how anyone even knows who
Literally.
Dennis is? Because you don't seem to know that. What do you think he's doing? Original sketches?
Well, then as soon as he stopped doing it, literally it was like complete.
Did you
Tainted
see like
numbers.
the web series he was on playing a gay character?
What?
No.
Yes, it was so cringy. I only saw one episode. It was like he played the gay best friend of this the main woman, and
Does he go like super over the top, like flamboyant?
no, thank God. But it just feels
Because of that,
oh, that would be so strange. But he was doing like slutty himbo maybe, where he was like, oh, I'm gonna go hook up with that guy in the bathroom. But it was like, why are you talking about this as like, you don't sound convincing, first of all. And also, like, why is this writing? Like, how is it you're going to play a character and the only way to make the character memorable or interesting is to make them gay? Like, you can't...
Wait, but this is so weird because that lines up so much with the weird comedy that he's trying to do now.
Yes, it's very reminiscent. I have to find the link for you to check out this series. Or maybe someone sent me like a Vimeo link because I was like, what?
Definitely, it sounds like it would be on Vimeo.
Yeah, it's not public or Def Noodles mini-series gay friend.
Is there a password?
Yeah. Like, it seems like something somebody...
Like it was a college class, like, project.
And exactly, and they definitely wanted to bury it since then. It's not something...
Oh my God.
Homoerotic subtext, Def Noodles banned from Twitter. Okay, it's a lot of news. Can't find it. Scrubbed.
Oh my God. We'll talk about it later offline, but wasn't aware of that, and I'm sure it's a treat.
He played a gay character, but it was similar to, like, you know, he's clean shaven. It looks like from when that headshot was. But to me, it just all feels like any of this already, the comics go for sexism and transphobia and homophobia and just really personal remarks, which...
Yeah.
I mean, making a joke about someone's appearance I don't think is the worst thing, especially it's funny and clearly a roast. But I was nervous as soon as they started bringing up either of you because I'm like, these comedians, who many of them are cishet men.
Lily's like, wait.
No, these like the cishet men on stage have shown themselves to be reaching for really easy sexist humor. And so, like, I think Dennis was planning to bring up you both because he had the term stream sniping all figured out. He used it so many times as though it like somehow legitimized his stream and delegitimized theirs. And it's like, people wouldn't be watching their stream snipe if they weren't adding something more entertaining than your stream alone.
I even said before, there was even a point that I kind of like felt guilty because someone tweeted us, they were like, there's 9 times as many people watching your live stream as his right now. And I was like, oh my God, I kind of feel bad. But like, are we really?
Well, he had it titled incorrectly while it was up. Oh, yeah. So that's not my fault.
One, his marketing skills are less than stellar. And then 2, we weren't just showing his stream. We were talking most of it. So it's like, if someone wanted to just be watching the stream, they would have been watching his, but they weren't. They were watching us.
Someone had to fill the dead air. A little bit more
about the content.
Exactly. Like, stream sniping makes it sound like you're taking his stream.
We're just replaying it.
And then, pirating it to profit off
even
of
at the
name.
very, like, I gathered from that he thought we sent people to be in his chat. And we absolutely did not do that.
Like, that could be what that means too, I guess.
That's the thing about Jessi and I. It's like opposite day. We would be telling our viewers, like, don't say anything because we don't want them to know, because we don't want to deal with the confrontation of them knowing that we are talking about that.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. But they go on to, I think the worst thing they said about you, Lily, is that you look like Marilyn Monroe. Honestly, after she died.
I was like, play the rest of yours and then play there are 20 more seconds maybe.
Energy, no offense. You know what I mean? No offense. Yeah.
I want to roast Jessi Smiles, but I'm 90% sure she'll already press charges.
Yeah, hey, I'll swipe right on that Cinder. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Pussy dry pussy right there. You know what I mean? You know, she likes Limp Bizkit. That's how you know it. You know what I mean?
All right, that's it for that.
Literally, that's it for that.
I love that he has to like call it quits because he's like, oh shit, that wasn't funny.
He's like, I know that the audience here didn't laugh, and I know that the audience at home didn't laugh, but I've already said it.
This is Lily's epic roast. So you were nervous, Lily?
Oh, I was shitting myself because, again, what you said, I'm like, they're gonna say something mean. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's true, but like, I would say a sensitive person that I'm like, oh my God, what are they gonna say? Like, what am I self-conscious of that they're gonna point out? And then literally, I watching it was the most validating thing ever because it was like they couldn't come up with anything. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Thanks.
Hold on. There's another person who's stream sniping. This is Lily Marston. So do a kind roast to her in her honor since she's watching.
It was very kind.
Hey, yo, you look like Marilyn Monroe after she died.
His laugh.
It's like story time, dog.
This
silence.
looks like another white woman I don't know. I'm so sorry, stream. Y'all be making up white women.
Like, I can see where these jokes are trying to go, whether or not they're valid at all. It's like, gosh, the improv skills are just not there to make it funny. Like, if he's saying your chat is making up white women, like, wouldn't you be like, this is like if an AI generator created a white YouTuber, you know?
Because when he said that and he was like, oh, this looks like another white woman I don't know, we literally were like, she is.
Right.
She's another white woman you don't know.
And even with the Marilyn Monroe after she died, I'm like, okay, I get far worse eating disorder, you look like a skeleton, blah, 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 comments on my own videos.
Right.
Like that, I'm like, that's actually kind of a compliment.
Yeah, because like Marilyn Monroe was like
Sure,
super hot. So like even after she died, assumingly still super hot.
Right. I mean, like, they didn't say how long after.
Yeah, she's just immediately deceased. They hadn't even found her yet.
Body's still warm, flushed cheeks, just really peaceful.
So it just like didn't really go anywhere, and then the just like awkward silence between it was just like, ha, that's a bigger compliment than anything else. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, like my heart started racing when he mentioned my name, because I'm like, I don't mind having roasts done about me, especially a good roast I can appreciate. But I mean, I'm also, just like I was nervous that they would talk about women that they don't know, they could say all sorts of things that invalidate my queerness or my gender identity, or, you know, like the nose thing I don't care about. Like, that's just stuff you can see. But if they're gonna start making assumptions,
Nick, I just want you to know that literally that your nose is the furthest thing.
I just don't.
From,
I don't
like,
understand.
I don't even understand where that's coming from.
Thank you. I hear it a lot on the internet that people think I have a prominent nose, but I don't think. I don't think that's a bad thing. First of all. And I'm really happy with the, proportions of my face. I've definitely made fun of them. I would make fun of my hairline, first of all. I think that's like always a good place to go for me, but I'm not in charge of your roast.
I would much rather, and I don't actually want this to happen, but I'm like, I would much rather like the three of us roast each other, and it would be 10 times funnier than anything that they did. And theirs, I'm just like, it doesn't even, like, that's all you got?
Well, and it's so insane to see that it was like, the catalyst for his downfall was this roast, and it just like to see how I actually just pulled up his page. It's so bad, his views. I mean, on a good day he can maybe get 9,000, but we're talking.
Well, also though, pull that back up. Do you see what that video was? Deleted. Are you kidding?
Oh no.
5 days ago, like, I get when you posted it, everything was fine, but maybe since Aaron Carter passed away 2 days ago.
Well, and there's also the bizarre, like, okay, so he went to Kanye. Yeah, he went to Kanye West's Donda Academy, and he basically trespassed and filmed himself like opening mail, which is a federal crime, and he's just such an
Is that real?
idiot. But because it broke 10K views,
school with children?
Yeah, he literally went there.
That was his thought, is that he was going to a school with children. That was the plan. Like, they were going to investigate Donda
It wasn't
Academy.
until later that people were like, oh, they switched addresses. Like, you didn't know that. But like, he treated it like, oh, like, where are all the kids? Like, this is like a front or something.
Yeah, even once he got there, he did walk around, but it was very clear that it was.
And
like
he read aloud like student records that he found on campus.
No.
Filming himself opening mail.
But because it did so well for him, aka 10,000 views in 2 weeks, he could not stop. So he said, oh, thank you so much, babe. Sorry, I just got a delivery. He says,
cheers.
He literally, I think, tweeted about it and said, like, everyone's loving the Donda Academy thing. Like, thank you so much for your support. So, of course, he did. I shut down Kanye West's Donda Academy. I found Kanye West's secret Donda Academy location. Kanye West unusual, like he used to do with the Philippines, started doing with Kanye West.
Oh my God, Jessi, thank you. I was just going to
videos.
say, oh my God, the thing about Dennis that I think a lot of people don't realize is how much he does not give two shits about the content, which is what pisses me off, I think, when he talks about, like, I just want to do stuff that makes me happy and I'm a comedian, blah, blah, blah. No, I mean, yeah, I think he would like to be a comedian and do things as a comedian and have that be successful. But you can see right here a perfect example of his standard pattern of doing things. As soon as he sees a topic do well, for example, back in the beginning of his YouTube career, the Philippines, which is so strange to me.
And cringe.
And, might as well bring it up now. We didn't actually say it out loud, but Jessi, scroll back.
Oh, come on, Lily. Are you serious?
Nick, have you noticed the thumbnails?
She thinks that he's trying to look Asian in his thumbnails.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, I could see that.
Hold on. There's
Those
more.
are bad examples. The
These
top
are
one
bad.
was good.
Yeah.
When you saw them all next to each other, it was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it was a drastic difference from when he was covering Philippines content and when he was not.
I have no trouble believing that. I mean, he's always trying to do something with the thumbnails.
And the fact that he's like kind of ethnically ambiguous.
Right.
One might say.
I know that I've seen like reaction channels by Asian creators reacting to Asian television. So and if he's starting to get views, I just wouldn't put it past him.
Exactly.
For me, it was always so weird when he would just use the same format of his reaction for every
the same exact
thumbnail.
picture.
I'm like, did this get a higher than average click-through rate?
A lot of people do that, and I actually don't get it. What is
I hate it so much.
It must just be faster. Like if he has to Photoshop a thumbnail every night to get the video up.
Yeah, he just has a template set up.
But like, it's not that much harder to it just goes to show like it's not hard to plan a show or let the rest of the people in the audience know what the show is gonna be. But
do you see this thumbnail that he kept reusing over and over again?
Yeah, it's so strange to me, the obsession with the Philippines, which clearly was only brought on by views.
Yeah, those thumbnails feel like, at the very least, he's playing into his ethnic ambiguity. And I just haven't seen anything to convince me that.
Look at these.
Those ones.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Like, come on.
No, ma'am. I don't care for that.
We saw it and like it was just a strange moment where we're like, that doesn't seem.
And it just also felt like, in general, to make all these videos about reacting specifically to stuff from the Philippines, it's like, do you have an appreciation for the Philippines outside of this? Just working?
He has an appreciation for the views that were coming in from it. That's what I find so absurd. So then it's like you see the Kanye stuff and you're like, it's exactly what he normally does.
You can see with the Kanye stuff, he's like then doing all of this like urban explorer. Like I broke into the most terrifying places in LA. It's like,
I watched that today.
Was it good?
No. He basically tries to go, there's like supposed like tunnels underneath LA, and he tries to go to that. But he drives me so insane when he's doing them because he's so like, look at a sign that says do not enter. And it's like, yeah, we can see. It's him just reading things.
Well, he's always done that. There was one specific video that he was commentating on a boxer. Don't remember, I tune out as soon as I hear boxing. But like, it was something of like, oh, you see, he gave a right jab. And then like he said it like 5 times after. And then he's like, that was a right jab. That was if you look at that was a right jab. And I'm like, Dennis, I don't even know shit about boxing. I know that was a right jab. Right. I saw his right hand fucking punch him.
It's like he's describing it to children.
Yeah.
Or aliens, maybe.
I was going to say something mean. I was gonna say, I think he thinks everyone's as dumb as he is, but we're not. It's like,
it just seems like it takes so long to process things. And I'm like,
and I get that. Low key, same. Like, did you not see our live stream? I don't even know anything. Like, I'm so dumb. But like, come on. Like,
do not compare yourself.
We've already been compared. It's too late.
But if I'm going to comment on a boxing match, I'm not going to try to sound like a boxing expert. I'm just going to react.
He says that he likes to like, not that he's a professional boxer, but like he likes to do it. And his whole, my favorite is just his yeah commentary where he just says yeah 1,000 times.
And then more recently, he really plays into the weird like sexual or dick humor where it's like he in the exploring urban things I literally watched like right before we were filming. He says something like, someone says busted. He goes, busted. And I'm like,
girl, no.
Like, are you 10?
Yeah, like it is very low hanging fruit.
The fruit is on the ground.
It's rotten pulp that's been stepped on. We are Mrs. Crabapple. It is like, I would love to know if he could start doing stuff on a topic. Like clearly he doesn't want his topic to be just all internet news anymore. Or apparently. So then what is the topic? Because is it Donda? Is it urban exploring? Is it...
I think he's trying to figure it out right now, honestly, because I think he's realized the comedy angle.
No, I think it's that he wants this new shtick anything that takes off in the world of his new shtick. So like in that whole vlogging, travel, office, weird activity video.
Where his whole character is kind of like, I'm stupid and don't understand anything.
Yeah, but like anything that takes off in that realm, he's gonna go with. So like that's why him visiting Donda Academy, he's like 10,000 views. I'm gonna put 5 videos about Donda Academy.
It's clear he's trying to find niches to like,
he's doing everything but writing good comedy, which is like would be the harder option. And I feel like he's just trying to do topics that are easy and unplanned. He can get his friends together and go shoot. And you know, like when I first started getting views on Clip Breakdown, I was like, ugh, these are the longest and hardest of all the types of videos that I have to make. But all of a sudden I could see like I'm offering something unique here that I want to capitalize on. So for me to go back to doing the kind of taste testing the Titanic first class menu, like it's not what the people who are subscribing right now want to see. It's not where I can offer the most, you know, value as someone who thinks of themselves as a comedy writer who also knows film. When I started my channel, it was like, because people were like, oh, watching movies with you is so funny. So I was like, this feels like my thing that I can do, and I'm happy. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's the longest and hardest, but like I'm also not afraid of hard work. But with Dennis, it just feels like
you also though you don't I correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like if someone asked you what you did for work, you wouldn't be like, I'm a comedian.
No, because no.
And I would consider you a comedian. Like, yes, you are like you are doing comedy writing, you are doing comedic bit, like all of that is comedy, and absolutely it's hilarious. But you're a YouTube, like I do commentary on pop culture.
Exactly. That's what I tell people. Exactly. I made a series with movie reviews and pop culture commentary,
which happens to be very funny and in the comedy genre, I guess. But like the fact that Dennis leads with I'm a comedian is so strange to me, because think of how many people you watch that you find really funny that you wouldn't even personally refer to them as a comedian.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have considered Jenna Marbles a comedian, but I loved her and she was so
exactly. Like it doesn't mean that they don't fill that bucket for you, but like what? It's weird that he was so headstrong about it.
You think comedian, you think stand up. And like that's just it's not that doesn't mean that's
not done.
Well, he has done, but you know.
Or you think like sketch comedy that people want to watch.
Exactly.
Like
which
Comedy
doesn't
Central
necessarily
kind of
make that accurate, because again, I do believe that people on YouTube like are comedians in their own right. Like,
but I agree. Like I would rather be known for someone who's doing the commentary series, because then you know that I'm the showrunner. I'm a social media manager, videographer, writer, Photoshop, thumbnail editor.
You're wearing all of the hats.
Optimizer. You know, you get to wear all of these hats, which is what I love about anything independent and creative. Where like if you say I'm a comedy writer, you think like, okay, you're writing on someone else's show, you just contribute comedy. Right. I think it's what I love about Clip Breakdown is that it's a mix of things that I've written, but some of my favorite moments are just stuff that comes out of my mouth, or I have to leave room for this organic kind of flow in the format, and I'm more proud of the format of Clip Breakdown than anything, you know, and it's not super unique. It's like very similar to The Soup.
Not that being what Dennis also compares himself to.
Being like The Soup is his dream, so don't say that as a...
I know. I saw the bio once that was like, it's a mix between The Soup, The Today Show, this or that. I'm like, I'm not seeing it, but like the format of doing a clip followed by a punchline with a picture-in-picture, that was very similar to The Soup for me, and I was like, that's something I can do. But yeah, I don't see Dennis's format kind of being that, other than using picture-in-picture. But
I mean, I wish him well. If this is bringing him happiness, great. To me personally, I know I would be scrambling. As creators, we know how dependent we are on people consuming our content for this to be a viable thing, as far as not only just it being your job, but like it securing a business, like, and his, you know, the financials on that must be insane where he's located in LA. And it's just, I wish him all, I hope he is happy doing this. I think he's just a strange cookie.
Like, if he was really just like still doing the podcast where he's just like talking to his friends and stuff, at least I'd be like, okay, I guess this is what he wants to be doing. But it does seem like he's still kind of scrambling, trying to cling on to random topics that will do well. Yeah. So it seems like he hasn't really figured it out, which I'm like, fuck, Dennis, that's what we were trying to warn you about.
Yeah, and
well, he doesn't give a fuck.
Like he never transitioned. You shouldn't have fully pivoted, fucked everyone else, and then now you're having to like start from scratch, kind of. Like,
and this isn't like secret stuff. Like literally, YouTube Creator Academy talks about pivoting. If you
not
ever
the
bother,
Creator Academy.
I mean, I don't know like, how valuable those videos are, but yeah, they do tell you that.
It's literally if the people at YouTube who often seem to know the least about what's going to succeed on the platform can give you free advice on how to be successful when pivoting. It seems very like Dennis, who I know went to, I think, UCLA. It's like, I'm very curious what kind of student he was, because
his bio didn't say that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Maybe it was like a writing course.
He does wear a lot of UCLA shorts, though.
Sure does. But I'm like, my film school experience was all about learning to take feedback, because you go from high school where you made some video, you were the video maker kid.
Where you're the only one that can do it.
Right. Or like I was on the Sharon Osbourne as a kid, so that was my claim to fame, was making horror movies. So I go into this big film school thinking I'm a big fish. And then you realize like every single school had kids who are super talented, and we're not all gonna make it as a writer director. But like what we had was like the ability to workshop our writing with each other and with the professors, and I just don't see that learnability in anything Dennis does, as though he's done anything to prove himself as like successful with enough to ignore feedback from his audience. And it's just a mess.
And even then you see the most successful people fall because they can't accept feedback.
Exactly.
Like, there are assholes out there. There are people who just want to tell you, fuck you, you suck, you're ugly. But there are a lot of people who are just saying, hey, like, this is how I think this could be better. And I think that a lot of us in the beginning, especially, we cut out a bunch of Lily's criticism. We've said that a million times from like the Ace Fest days. And we did that because we didn't want to be like mean. We didn't want to like trample on his like little endeavors or whatever.
Personal. Like it was like, I personally don't enjoy it. So I was explaining why, but then we're like, we don't need to broadcast why I don't personally enjoy it to the rest of the world. That doesn't help anyone. But then it came to be that everyone else had the exact same kind of
that's the thing. But everyone I think started from the point of like, hey,
for him.
This is a weird route. We don't actually like you on the scene with what was her name?
Israel and Tiana.
Yeah, it was just this like weird like dynamic that people just were saying, hey, we don't like this. And he could have been like, okay, let me just sprinkle one in a week. I do 7 videos a week. One of them will be one of these.
Right.
But he didn't. And like, I honestly cannot fathom like the view drop. I don't want to like sound obsessed with like numbers and stuff, but it is just as a YouTuber, it's insane the view drop, and he has to be panicking.
Yeah,
he has to be panicking.
I feel for him.
Well, and that was like when he started paying rent.
It's just insane.
To me, it's like I love being a YouTuber. I love that we get to brand ourselves and like make our personality extrapolate it to the brand. You know, like I'm obviously not an aloe plant, and you know the t-shirts and the mugs, like this all just iconography that has to do with stuff that people associate with me, but it always felt authentic, you know, to me as a brand. Where him, I'm like, you started saying you were Def Noodles, and then you made it clear that no, you're Dennis. Def Noodles was the show, and then it was like, no, Def Noodles is the channel. My show is irrelevant news, and I'm Dennis.
Which also,
and
the
now
news wasn't
I'm not
irrelevant.
Oh yeah, it was very relevant. But then he goes into, this was actually all a joke that you fell for, a parody of a commentary person. And it's like, no, it wasn't. But then he's alienating his audience. It's just bad branding to do.
It was a literal recipe for fucking disaster, and it happened. It like, just to like, I honestly don't know how there's only 1,000 people who will click on a video of like someone who has that many subscribers.
I do. I mean,
I don't click on them.
I was
Actually,
like, we don't even do it, and we weren't even doing it from a place of like we still love his videos. We were just like, what else is gonna happen? And then eventually, I didn't even care anymore.
And he had this good thing, as you said, going where we just expected uploads every day. But then he said, no, I'm not talking about drama anymore. But then he immediately has to go back to doing it. So it's like, I'm always especially since being anything that people are watching or seeing or reading, I'm like, let me not announce new things until the deal is signed. Let me not talk about or announce stuff just because I'm excited about it. Like, let others see it and come to me rather than me try to sell, this is the new thing now, and you're all gonna have to get used to it. It's like, because they don't have to. They can just stop watching.
Exactly. And I mean, I always go back to, he seems like he got this kind of weird boost of confidence when he moved into his quote unquote office. And he felt like that really legitimized him and made him like a kind of like a production company.
Because there was also a club, a comedy club.
Of course. And he runs multiple businesses out of this comedy club.
Right.
But it's like all of your businesses are hinged on your personality, which apparently has been just fake and catered to, like, I don't even know what you're actually like.
And there's nothing more detrimental to an online personality than finding out that everything about them is fake. That is not fun for the consumer. And it's like,
I don't even know what is real about that. Like, that's the thing, is even with me bringing up like the dick humor, I'm like, is that actually his sense of humor? Are those the jokes he makes? Like, is he playing to some audience he thinks he's gonna get?
Because they had that sex thing. Do you see that thing where they like had sex on the podcast, or like the porn star was like riding? I think it was Corey.
Oh well, yeah,
and the titties came out. Yeah,
that's, I feel like then it was like, oh, we're sexual.
Exactly, right. But I'm like, none of it makes sense, and I just like don't really.
All I know is that every time I feel like we talk about Dennis, I feel like I need to be financially compensated. And I feel like he needs to cut us a check for this one.
I mean, I honestly,
I am like so exhausted by him.
Send him a check sometimes because I'm like, my video making fun of you got more views than your stream.
Yeah, but P.S. he should send you a check, because do you remember when he put your name in the title and didn't even talk about you in the entire fucking video?
Yes.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I was so shook that nobody, because I get tweets like when Shane Dawson and Jeffrey announced their new series. I got tagged in 1 million tweets about like,
no one
Nick,
tweeted you about it?
Nobody said a thing until I found it myself 4 days later. And I was like, and I tweeted, I was like, I'm just confused that Def Noodles used my name in a video and no one's heard about it 4 days.
Well, you have to know though, it's because his remaining audience after he's alienated everyone else is not going to be the same audience that's watching you.
Right.
Yeah. But just if you missed it, it was basically he put Nick's name in the title, did a whole, what was it? He was just like buying time.
He usually like would clickbait shit and put it in the title, but he'd address it maybe for like 20 seconds at the end. He literally never even says anything about you, I don't think.
Not that I saw. Somebody told me that in the very last 30 seconds when he was back in his office, he said, so people have asked me, what do I think about Nick DiRamio?
But then I think it ends.
And then he said nothing. Yeah.
No, we texted about that. I was like, what a fucking idiot.
I think it was because like vidIQ, which for those who don't know is like a platform you can use to get clues on what topics people are searching for on YouTube.
Tell you what things to put in the tags.
And even the YouTube predictive search that week was being like, Nick DiRamio, Def Noodles, or Def Noodles, Nick DiRamio, because people wanted to see the Salvo pancakes video. So I think he was like, oh, I can get at the top of search results if I'm putting him in a thing. People think it's a response.
How
but then I'm
annoying.
like, well, then actually say something. Don't make me watch the whole thing.
Exactly. I'm like, why wouldn't he at least like talk a little shit about you? Like,
yeah, I was ready. And
nothing?
And I mean, I have videos live on my channel still that I'm sure I would cringe at. Like, just because they were like, I didn't know what my niche was. So I was hoping it wouldn't. I was like, it could be painful to watch, but I'm going to just tweet about it, see if someone can summarize it.
There are a lot of Philippines reacts things on your channel too.
Yeah, no, thank goodness. So that's why I would have made a video about me. And then it might have gotten views because people actually sit and watch it. But when it had nothing to do with me.
Well, that was the funniest part, is that it did get more views than his normal videos. Yeah. But he never even mentioned you. I was like, oh, fuck. He really, that like epitome of clickbait.
It's like, can't you
So
just
annoying.
give people what they clearly want? They would have wanted you to
Give
make
a whole
the
episode
video
about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it about us. No, but like if you say that in the title, it's gonna be about this. It doesn't have to be clickbait. You can make the video about that.
Right.
But you would rather get popular for doing these low effort vlogs, and you're trying to force those on your audience when clearly it's not catching on. So anyway,
So annoying. I mean,
it is a very unique person for sure.
yeah, all in all, I think that it's just kind of sad, kind of always a depressing time visiting our old friend Def. But I would have rather done it with no one else than you, Nick. I'm like seriously so thankful that you came on. I had so much fun.
Honored.
This was supposed to be like a quick little segment, and then we're just here talking for hours about Def Noodles because it was so easy to do. I know, literally.
We needed to debrief. I mean, we were all kind of thrusted into this Def Noodles situation, and
It was a long era, and we needed to.
yeah,
It's a support
I'm glad
group.
we got to finally talk about it. Because my last video, I was like, this is gonna be my last clip breakdown. Because we could go on forever. It's not gonna get any better.
You can only react to so many Def Noodles jokes.
Exactly.
Yeah. But this was like a way to like consume it without it being completely intolerable. So I'm really thankful that you came on.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to have been here.
Guys, if this is the first time you're seeing Nick, we're going to leave all his stuff below because he's amazing. He's super funny, super talented. And it was just I'm so glad you were our first guest. I really am. You were the
I'm so
perfect first
grateful.
guest.
And if anyone hasn't seen him, his commentary ranges from, it's not like just Def Noodles type character.
No.
It's like, what did you just upload on today? The Kardashians?
Oh, on Kendall Jenner's
Yes.
tequila brand.
Yes. So it's like you do so many like deep dive commentary.
Yeah.
You do like a less serious deep dive, which I appreciate.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your appreciation. I think you're both incredible. I am so excited that Do We Know Her is, or Do We Know Them? Sorry.
I like that. Do
Let me
we
say
know
it again.
her?
Kind of like, do we know
I'm
her?
so
That's Mariah Carey's new podcast. You're mistaken.
That's what, yeah. I'm so excited that Do We Know Them is blowing up the way that it is. I was so excited to see both of you. I mean, like, people want to see what you have to say about these topics because you're both so interesting and
thank you.
the chemistry is great. So thank you for having
Oh
me.
my God. Virtual hug. Thank
I
you
know. It's
so
like,
much.
I wish we were all in the same city
I
instead
know.
of three different
I know.
ones.
Well, you're West Coast, Lily?
Yeah, we could hang
And I'm
out.
East Coast.
Are you California?
I'm in LA. I'll come to the desert. Like, get out of
Oh,
here.
yeah,
You don't
please.
want to come here.
Yo, I can do a pool party sometime, and you guys should.
I love a pool
Jessi
party.
should come out and visit us. But also, yeah, I'll be in LA a lot this month, so
Oh my God.
maybe we can meet up and have coffee sometime.
Absolutely.
Or I would love to have you both react to this Dennis Noodles movie.
I mean,
on
now that I know
on
it
my
exists,
live reactions.
I'm down.
I'm gonna download it and we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for having me. You're both amazing. I can't wait to see more episodes from you both.
Bye, Nick. Thank you so much.
Bye.
He is delightful, and I'm so glad he came on.
Me too.
Now, I feel like we were going to touch on some other topics, but I don't think we were planning on talking to him for that long. So maybe we just finish things off with the unfortunate Nikita Dragun update.
Yeah. So
Influencer Nikita Dragun arrested at Miami hotel and charged with felony battery. A police report said she threw water on police officers and hotel staff after walking around unclothed.
I mean, I'm from Miami, okay? And from the description, it says she swung an open water bottle toward, like, okay, let's
like
play
you
the
think the
scenario
police
out.
were probably just like being dramatic and took her because they could.
Yeah, I'm from Miami. I'm just saying. I got kicked out of a hotel because we stayed there on prom night. And like, okay, we were a little bit loud, but it was not, like, it was so dramatic. Like, the way they did it, it was like really, like, it was like we had just committed murder. Miami is very dramatic. But basically, they're saying that there was loud music. Security and the police went up to her and she opened the door and then closed it. And then when she opened it again, she threw water. Like, she threw a water bottle that was open and then water spilled on them. And I'm just like, really? Like, battery? Like, that's not
Oh yeah,
right.
what was it? She was charged with
Felony assault. Are you serious?
as well as misdemeanor battery and misdemeanor disorderly conduct charges.
That's fucking insane. Her bond was set at $2,000, which is nothing. Like, so Nikita has been open, as far as I know, since like last year about struggling with her mental health because she went through something.
So yeah, she came out after I think she kind of disappeared from the internet for a hot second. And then when she returned by saying that she, I guess, had been, I don't know if she was arrested, but she was detained. Let me click on the article. On Thanksgiving of last year, so almost exactly a year ago, she was involuntarily committed for 8 days and diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She had her first manic episode about 6 months ago when she temporarily moved back home to Virginia. While in Virginia, the influencer says she was forced to confront childhood trauma that she had long repressed, which triggered a manic episode. And then it has a quote from her. It says, "It led to, on Thanksgiving, me walking out of the house by myself, freezing in a dress and stripper heels. There's another moment I won't get into, but like an altercation happened and I ended up in a police car. I got brought to a hospital. I had to be evaluated from head to toe and I was placed under a detaining order, which basically means you're a threat to yourself or other people." So then she was admitted to a behavioral health center for 8 days and received a bipolar diagnosis. So I think the past year she's been relatively quiet.
I mean, literally all I knew about Nikita before this was that she's problematic as hell. That's the only thing I knew. I know she's a beauty person. I'm aware of that. But even more so, because I don't even feel like she uploads that often at all. Even more so than that, she's just incredibly, incredibly problematic. Like, people say she like dresses up kind of like different races and stuff. Blackfishing, yeah. And then but doing a bunch of like cultural appropriation stuff. And also just in addition to that, like she thrives off of that negative attention, very much Ava Louise vibes. And I just have such like issues with people like that. And then when something serious happens to them, you have so many people that hate you that aren't like, they're just so quick to be like, oh, you're full of shit, you're this, you're that. But it does genuinely seem like she went through a really hard time and is still going through it. It says, hours before the arrest, Dragun tweeted about a separate altercation with Miami-based DJ and producer duo Black vs. Neck. The musicians told... Not versus. Black versus Neck.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know who that DJ duo is, but
I'm pretty sure it's Black versus Neck. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
It says that the musician said that the altercation happened Saturday night at Live, which is in Fontainebleau. Live is like the worst. It says it attracts celebrity guests. It does, but like, my God. It also attracts a bunch of 18-year-olds with fake IDs. But it says Black V-Neck performed there with DJ Afrojack. They tweeted that Dragun it said Jesus Christ.
Black versus Neck showed.
It tweeted that Black V-Neck. Oh my God. They said that Nikita shoved one of them after they told her not to steal their liquor bottle.
Dragun responded that she was escorted out of the venue by 6 security guards after seeing Black V-Neck push a woman, which Black V-Neck said was false in both a tweet and a direct message to NBC News.
I don't know. And also the mugshot is out of control. You know, she obviously is... I mean, also me every morning, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, my mugshot would look 10 times worse.
No, it just seems like, yeah, she's not in the best place.
Well, update.
Yeah, I mean, when we filmed this episode originally, all we knew was Nikita had been arrested, and our main focus, like talking point wise, was just what did she do? And that was pretty much it. But now there's so much more to talk about. So we wanted to make sure and talk about it because there's a lot of shit happening.
So if you missed it, I guess it was earlier this week. What day did it actually happen?
We filmed on Tuesday, and I think it might have happened that day or on Monday night, something like that.
Basically, the news broke and a mugshot was released where Nikita looked very angry. But apparently she had been allegedly naked and then quote unquote assaulted, or she was arrested for battery, which feels like a leap. But apparently she like poured water on security /
I guess she threw the water bottle and like water fell on them. And as someone born and raised in Miami-Dade County, they will charge you for assault for that. Like, those cops are out of their fucking minds. I'm not saying it was right what she did, but like, it was like felony assault, battery, a bunch of misdemeanors. I'm like, are you joking? It was water. She didn't hurt anybody.
And then it also was mentioned that she was naked. So I think it was for like public indecency too, was like the reason she was even approached to begin with. We knew that she did something disruptive at this hotel that she was staying at. And then we see the mugshot, but then it comes out kind of weird stuff about how she was released, and like the timing was really odd. And most notably, and what everyone has been freaking out about, is it gets revealed that she's in the men's unit of the jail that she's being held in.
Right. So for those of you that aren't aware, Nikita Dragun is a trans woman. When you take all of this into account, you have to take away the fact that this is Nikita Dragun we're talking about. Because if you ask me if I like her personally and her history and her problematic like behavior, not particularly. Like I don't think that she's a person I want to hang out with on the weekends, you know, but that's really not relevant here because I remember I told my husband this and he like his jaw dropped. He's like, what? Like she's going to get hurt. Like, this is crazy.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like dangerous. It's not like I don't want to be with the boys. Like that's not okay. And honestly, what I found like the most disturbing, I think I sent it in a text to you. Let me pull it up. It's her video because of COVID and maybe they did this before, but I think it became more common with COVID. The meeting with the judge is on video chat. She's not actually like in the court with her. And that video is somehow online and I don't know who released
they're
it.
often like I've seen, not just in this case, I've seen a lot of cases where like people's video, I think you can like publicly watch people's court hearings because like anybody,
it's like public domain.
Because you could walk into any courtroom and like sit there and watch. So I guess they started doing this online or something.
True. That's, I guess if you know when the court dates and the times are, you can tune. Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like a public access thing.
And also I'm pretty sure, so a lot of people are calling this a prison. I'm pretty sure she was in jail and there is a big difference.
I think you don't go to prison until you're like
sentenced, I think.
Well, I think you can be there awaiting trial, but I think she hadn't even been booked yet. You don't go immediately to prison.
I don't know which would be worse. I think both would be very dangerous for her. But like jail too, you have people think jail is just like people staying there for the night or something. But there are long-term like prisoners in jails that are awaiting getting sentenced and going to prison. All I can think of is like people who haven't been with a woman or something in a long time and then they see Nikita. Like it's like seriously dangerous. Oh my God, it gives me goosebumps to think about. And then we're gonna watch this video. You just see her so distressed. Like this is not fucking okay.
And you can tell that the judge even is like...
Did you hear what the judge said in the beginning?
Yeah.
I did not like that, but we could watch it first and then say it because...
What would you prefer me to address you as?
She and her.
Oh, okay, that's fine, thank you.
Looks like she's here on vacation.
Oh, from New York.
Right, and there was an incident at the hotel.
So let me read what happened. The Good Times Hotel. The battery is throwing water or spilling water at the officer and the security guard. You're going to order that you stay away from the Good Times Hotel. Do you have to go there to get your personal belongings?
I do.
You're not allowed to go back there, but you can return there to get your personal belongings. Otherwise, you got to stay away from there.
And Your Honor, may I ask one question?
Sure.
Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still?
Yeah, I don't make the rules up there, but they should make a proper accommodation for you. You should be in a separate area. You can contact the
the judge definitely comes off as not
like
the
you
most
want me to call you a miss?
or empathetic.
Yeah, come on.
But I don't know a whole ton about Nikita, and from what I have learned in the past, I'm not the biggest fan.
Right.
But watching that, it's just like heartbreaking. You can tell that she's actually uncomfortable, and also when the judge says that, because it isn't like the judge can't be like, oh yeah, send her. I mean, maybe they can. I don't think so. They could probably call in a favor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Regardless, as soon as the judge even says that she is not like in charge of that, you can see Nikita be like, okay, thank you. Like she immediately kind of like retreats. She's not being like
problematic or combative. Well, the thing is too, is there's a lot of conversation about this, obviously, because the internet's going to do what it does. But there's a lot of people saying, well, she shouldn't go to a women's prison either. Basically, I guess some people are suggesting that there should be
held like solitary or something.
There should be a better place. Like there should be a better practice. There should be a better place. That's what some people are saying. I actually don't know that I agree with that. I do think that there should be better protocol. There should be a standard like, okay, this person is a trans person. This is what we do in that scenario.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know that that's like putting them by themselves. Like, I don't know. This is like so
well, because I can already hear the argument of putting a trans woman in a woman's prison or jail before fully.
I mean, look at what
transitioning.
people say about the bathrooms
And sports teams, how it's like as if people are going to change genders to like be able to play better basketball or something.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not happening. That's not real. Bathrooms, honestly, that's a whole nother discussion we shouldn't get into because I think it's the dumbest thing ever. Because why is going to the bathroom, like, I get that going to the bathroom requires your like genitals to be exposed, and it's maybe with urinals it's different, but even with women's bathrooms, there's stalls. Why do you care who's in there? What does it make a difference? I don't get it.
Anybody who's trans is gonna go to a stall, go use the bathroom, and then leave.
They act like being in the bathroom is some sexual experience. I just don't understand.
You know, obviously we're not trans, and I'm not trying to like speak over the conversation happening, especially with the people in the trans community that are, you know, speaking on this, but I just feel like I'm so confused at how there is no practice in place for this type of scenario, and like just even the judges like cadence and stuff is very like sad to me. It's like, you want me to call you miss? Okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm just
well, and then she kind of like rolls her eyes when she's like, oh, you're vacationing from New York.
Yeah.
Why is that? What's wrong with that?
When we first filmed this, we kind of focused on her struggle with mental health for like a year now, because last year around Thanksgiving, she was also detained for mental health reasons. That's when she was like diagnosed bipolar, and she came out and said, you know, she talked about that on her channel. And we also talked about how a lot of times, maybe I've experienced this with people in my life who are bipolar, where certain times of the year will trigger something behaviorally. And so I'm not trying to like excuse what happened, but like there is what happened in itself that is not right, whether you're bipolar, whether whatever. Like I'm not talking about the spilling of the water. I'm more talking about walking around naked.
Yeah. Well, and even didn't we find out, I think the thing that happened last time was like, it was freezing cold and she got picked up. She was like walking around all like in stripper heels, her words, not mine, and like barely had any clothes on or something too. Like it was a similar kind of scenario. So one thing actually that I didn't even realize last time, I just had looked at her Instagram before we were filming this, and it looks like she got arrested like a couple days earlier.
What?
There's a video of her being handcuffed. I just can't tell like if it's, maybe is it fake? Is it like a stripper?
I think that man is a stripper. It's ironic, but I'm pretty sure that's a stripper. I promise I am not in jail anymore, is what she said.
Exactly. And this was 6 days ago.
That's weird.
And then I even saw a video that I guess I don't know where it was, and it's her having like people at the pool at the hotel that she ends up getting arrested at, having them film her as she like walks around and like down like kind of like a catwalk in between by the pool area. And then she walks back and says to the camera, like, Mom, don't worry, I'm not in jail. Are these just a lot of foreshadowing?
I think so. But also, I'm not sure if you did you see Spill Sesh's TikTok about her, who posted bail for her?
Wasn't it a fan?
Okay. This situation is very, very weird. And it just honestly creeps me the fuck out. So 2 fans, and what's weird is that one of the fans is not just a fan. He's a famous TikToker who abused his girlfriend.
Bitches that want to be abused and they ain't happy until they abused, they gonna push out every fucking button until you fucking abuse them.
And so he like was waiting outside of the prison. He wanted to post bail for her. There was another girl that was going to post bail for her. They were waiting outside. And then apparently Nikita's management told them, don't do that. Like, it's fine. Like, we're going to post bail for her, whatever. But nobody ever showed up. So one of the fans, the girl, actually did end up bailing out Nikita. And there's video of them like reuniting outside of jail, or I guess meeting for the first time. And like Spill Sesh said it, and it's so true. Like, why does Nikita not have anyone around her, like there to bail her out, protect her, care about her, like anything, even not her management? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Also, I feel like she has friends that probably have money, so it's not even like no one can afford to. And it's like, also, I doubt her bond was too high, and you don't have to pay the whole thing, do you?
It was a couple $100, I think. No, you pay like 10% of it.
Let me pull up Paige Christie's Twitter, because she's been tweeting a lot about this, and she was even saying possibly, is this like a publicity stunt? Almost like,
hell no.
Like there was something weird about it that she was pointing out. I don't think she was necessarily saying like Nikita was fake. I don't know. But that Nikita does have music coming out.
Oh, come on. I understand the internet, but like, really? I actually feel like that's offensive to like even speculate.
I was just like, oh, would someone go that far though? Like it feels a little much, but here. Oh yeah, and then apparently Rich Lux reported on something before TMZ even did. Like he was the source that broke it, which is always questionable because like who the fuck is going to Rich Lux to leak something, you know?
Truly.
Here, so she goes, okay, this Nikita Dragun situation is sus. I'm beginning to think it's a stunt. I'm gonna make a video explaining why, but then she quote tweets that and says, let me be clear, when I say stunt, I don't mean that I don't think she was arrested, etc. I just think the circumstances of why she wasn't released is weird. Nobody paid her bail, no family, no manager, no friends. And when a stranger bailed her out, they acted weird. So then she attaches these videos from this guy that you said abused his... How do we know that? Is that confirmed?
It was like on video. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. There's text that he had posted on his TikTok between him and the bondsman. And the bondsman is saying that the bonds are posted. And then when the guy says, hey, she was released with no bail, the bondsman says, not according to posting agent / jail, but I will double check in the morning. That's what they told us. Thank you. So then he's saying that they didn't even pay.
That doesn't equal suspicious to me. That means maybe something just changed and like the process changed. I don't know. The judge could have reduced the bail to no bail or whatever. Like that's normal stuff, I feel.
I guess you need to only pay 10%.
Yeah, you pay 10% of that's what a bail is. So if it's like $5,000, it's $500, etc.
So it's like people are like, it was only a few $100s. Like, why would no one else go pay it? Like, why does a fan have to do it?
Even if they pay $350, let's say, and it's $3,500, they have to put the collateral in for that $3,500.
Yeah,
they have to like put their name on it essentially. So I don't know. I honestly, again, putting her character aside completely, like all the things she's done for attention, because the argument can be made that like all this speculation and stuff is not Nikita's fault, but she has very much so loved the negative attention over the years. And when you do that, you do the Trisha Paytas thing, just like Trisha Paytas now is like, I just want to be happy with my baby. It's like, girl, but like for the past decade, you've been problematic as fuck. And that
exactly.
makes people not like
when
you.
you're like that, people are going to start questioning everything you do because they they don't trust you.
But to me, that's sad. And also just irrelevant. Like you have to put all that aside when you're talking about someone's like humanity. And when you see Nikita, like, what is she, an Oscar winning actress? Like you see her in the clip, she's fucking in distress. Like she just is. And it's not a matter of like, oh, she's so popular on the internet and she's like, she needs to have like special treatment in prison. No, just like, don't put her in the fucking lion's cave with like a bunch of crazy men.
Exactly. It's nothing about special treatment. It's about, I read a tweet that was like, look, I'm not the biggest Nikita fan, but like this is basic human rights.
It is.
Trans people being a part of society is not a new thing.
Right.
Especially in 2022. So how has there not been some kind of, maybe not long-term solution, but like, and even just while they figure it out.
Yeah. And there's not even that. It's like they're treated like if they're a little kid telling you what they want to dress up for as like for the day, like, oh, what do you want to be today? A princess? Okay. Like that's how the judge was acting. I know that we're probably going to get some shit for me, like being like, I don't think that what she did was bad, but this is all ridiculous. Like, I just think the whole thing is stupid.
I don't think that what she did was socially acceptable. No, not right. Don't think you should go do that. But I do think it's kind of just like, really, that it says she spilled water.
I, not to get into a story time tangent, but I did get like really injured in Mexico once because my cousin threw a water bottle, like we were playing like football almost in the pool, and he threw it and it landed on my forehead, and I literally like a pool of blood was in the pool. Like I had like a cracked head open.
Okay.
Anyway. But what I can say is that you can injure someone, like with a water bottle, you can. And that's not even what they said happened. Like they can't even tell if she chucked water itself at them or if it just spilled.
It literally says spilled water. And I'm like,
I just am not going to like cry tears for her crime here and be like, this is, at least she served time. Like she should have never seen the inside of a jail for it, let alone a man's jail. Oh boy. Well, I guess that is it for now. Hopefully.
Yeah, and also she has not said anything. Like she is out of jail, but she is not posted anywhere
for the
that
best.
I'm aware of.
Hopefully she just goes.
And it's Friday today, by the way.
And that's about it for the update. It's very interesting to watch how crazy the beauty community got. Like we have James Charles now begging his followers, what do I do with my makeup line? It's like, James, leave us alone. Stop subjecting us to your, I call it mashed potato mouth, but like, it sounds like he always has a Mouth of mashed potatoes drives me insane. Hi, sisters.
Just remember we did a makeup, like a listening to a makeup tutorial one time without watching it. And we did one of his for the first like 10 minutes. We were like, okay, come on. Sister, please hurry it up. Oh my God. He would talk so quickly.
He do be talking both in his videos and allegedly to other people.
On that note, I think that's enough for today.
I agree. I want to thank Nick again for coming on. Please, guys, go to his channel, show him some love. He's the best, and let him know how much you love him in the comments below. And hopefully this episode was all right. Fingers crossed.
I don't know if I could take it if it wasn't.
No.
If you didn't like it, don't tell us.
Anyway, we'll be back next week. No guests.
It'll be normal.
We swear. We won't try anything new for a month. Okay, guys. We love you. See you on Sunday.